Podcasting from Governor's Island, New York City. This is the Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. Hey everyone, good morning. Good morning for me right now, and if it's morning for you, afternoon, evening, nighttime, late at night, good whatever it is, I always appreciate the likes, the looks, the listens, and of course I would appreciate you hitting that subscribe notification bell on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. Of course, no pressure, but of course I would like the algorithms to go into my favor. We are in a definite time where we have information just flowing all around us. And there's going to be times when a lot of that information is not going to be as pure and true as it's supposed to be. We are looking at misinformation, which leads to missed opportunities. Let me explain. So you have someone who's going to give you some water, but then they probably add some juice or some dye to it. Essentially, yes, it is water they present it to you, but it's no longer true water anymore. So can you actually say, are you getting proper water? So whenever you add something to something that's supposed to be pure, or even take something away, it's no longer its true form. Same thing as information. See, the thing with proper transference of information, it takes humility on both parties. If you have an information transferred in the purest form, at least at that time anyways, it takes humility from the person who is transmitting, giving the information. The fact that they are willing to share information, which is knowledge, in the hopes that I'm going to educate you more so you can make better decisions in life, so you can make better decisions for yourself, which will translate to better decisions for your goals and people around you. And it also takes humility on the party that's receiving that information. Humility to say, let me put myself in a state to receive and not think I know everything or inject all my opinions in certain things and take it in its true form. We hope it is in the true form so that we can now make great and grand things happen. But the thing about that, unfortunately, is like, we attach opinion and feelings and emotions and even our own personal experiences where they are true to an extent for us. We tend to leave out the fact that we have to see the bigger picture. We may have a piece of the puzzle and we've been looking at that piece of the puzzle for the longest, and that's our gospel. But then we have so much more to it where other people can add pieces to it. But we have to be vigilant as well that some of those pieces, even though they may fit well, some may fit too well to that picture, to that piece of the puzzle that you may have. So unfortunately, we may make choices that will end up with undesirable outcomes, because if someone gives you information and it's faulty information, whether it's deliberate or not, you will go forward making your decisions, your opinions, your choices, your thoughts. They are going to be influenced by that information that you take. So then now you're not in the long run gonna make the proper choices. Desirable outcomes may not happen based on misinformation. You can look at our educational system where we may have some parts of the truth, but then other things are added on that is not pure truth into it. Then you have individuals who are transformed from that. If you can have an individual who is transformed based on misinformation, you can easily have a number of individuals that are influenced by that misinformation. You have a number of individuals thinking a certain way. That's not true. That's not pure. The foundation of what they're going forward and doing things in life is not pure, is not true. Then you're going to have people who are going to make the wrong decisions, who are going to have the wrong opinions, who's going to attach their ideals and their motives to the wrong things. Of course, you can always combat that by trying to make sure everything is pure, but we have to do that individually. The thing about that, we have to become detectives. And speaking about detectives will tell you these are people who are paid, who are entrusted to look at everything, not as coincidence. Because you have certain things that connects the dots. You have certain things that tell the whole story, or some things that other people may think, it's just, coincidence. It's a thing that happened. You're trained to not think that. The same thing about proper journalists. You don't have to have a piece of paper to certify that you're a journalist. You have to have a proper fervor to look for what's pure and what's true, even when it goes against what you strongly and personally believe. That's how I grew with a lot of things. I still have a lot more growing to go. That's how a lot of other people end up growing. They actually have an ideal they held on to or something that they learned a long time ago. The unfortunate part is that they probably realize that, man, what I learned was wrong, but then a lot of people, the unfortunate part of that is that many people don't have the humility to take that information now and expand. I could have been wrong all this time. There's times you have to realize that you weren't wrong. There's not one person alive here that's going to know everything. It is impossible for you to know everything. We have to take in as much as possible, like a detective, like a journalist, to dig through all that misinformation, because now when you have misinformation, missed opportunities now. You could have bought a house at an earlier age or a cheaper house somewhere else. You could have went and did another profession. You could have moved somewhere else a long time ago or not have moved somewhere else a long time ago. You could have chosen a proper spouse. Information is knowledge. Knowledge is deadly when it is used for nefarious purposes, when it is deliberately withheld from other people. We all have to, especially now, in these times, with so much things about fake news and misinformation, and there are people who are very, very motivated to deceive other people. You have to always follow the information, follow the money, because that's what motivates people to hold on to information and put certain kind of information out. That's all I have for the day. If you want to check me out and look at more of my content, you can check my website, www.brooklynbaritone.com. You can check out some merchandise and see something that you may like. There's something there for everybody, I guarantee. You can also find me on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. I'm also on LinkedIn under Corey Ashley. You can find me on Instagram and on Facebook. You can catch the audio versions of these podcasts on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iTunes Podcast, and Amazon Music under Podcast. I also broadcast on local Brooklyn cable television 4 times a week. That's on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 a.m. and 2 p.m. I'm on RCN, Spectrum, Optimum, and Verizon. Anyways, I want you guys to be blessed. I want you guys to walk good. You will hear from me next week. I'm going to chill in this rustic, beautiful landmark of a site and check out some of these old buildings from our United States government. Anyways, you hear from me next week. Be good.